So today I'm going to be lowering my car. As you guys know, my Model Y is lifted on MountainPass Performance spacers. And I also have the Comfort Coil-overs with those. So with that, I'm able to adjust it up to 2 inches instead of just 1 3/4 inches. Actually, the back is up a little bit more. It's almost like 2.5 inches or 2 1/4 inches. So today I'm going to be taking those off, taking the spacers off and putting it back down on the Comfort Coil-overs. It's going to give me a really nice ride and it's going to be able to adjust it below stock. And we're also going to replace those wheels. As you guys know, I have these Martian 18-inch wheels that I powder coated black with some big Toyo tires on there. And then, but originally I had, originally I had the 21s from Tesla, but I have these signature wheels, 21-inch signature wheels that are, it's a square setup instead of a staggered setup. So this is really nice. These are 255, 35, 21s. I don't like the tires. I think I would want wider tires if I stick with these. I would really like to stick with these, but I'm not sure if they're going to fit properly, and you'll see why later on. For now, we're going to put those on, lower the car, so the fender sits about 1 inch above these. So I've gathered my tools. I've got my jack here, my seat. This is one of the jack stands I'm going to use on the back. These are the wrench stands that you can get on Teslarati. I'll have a link down below for that. But I'm going to do one side and then do the other side. A lot of times you would do like the front and then go to the back, but I kind of want to just do one side altogether and then go to the other side. If you see my other videos where I installed these, you can kind of go the reverse way of putting these together, but really I don't have to take too much apart because I'm really just taking the spacer off. The back is going to be easy to take the spacer off, but then the front's a little bit more tricky to get the spacer off. So let's get moving, jack this up, and the ice cream truck's here. Huh, Joe Biden must be in town. It's funny, I didn't see any Secret Service around my neighborhood. So I ended up getting my other jack stand. I have 4 of these, but I ended up getting the other one because I need this jack to actually compress the suspension. I forgot about that, to get some of the components off. Not a big deal. Luckily I have both of those. And again, I'll have a link to those down below in the description. Those are on Teslarati's shop's site. I think I'm taking off a little too fast. I need to rotate these tires. Well, I'm taking them off anyway, but they're definitely worn a lot more on the back than the front. Right here is the spacer. This is the 1 3/4 inch spacer. And then below that is the spring, which is adjustable through this right here. So we're going to remove this and keep this here. This shock has spacers up top that we have to remove as well. The rebound here is adjustable, so we're going to mess with that while we drive a little bit. This is the camber, and then this is the toe adjustments. We're not going to mess with those really, but we are going to mess with some of this. Hopefully I can lower this enough or take things apart enough where I can just slip that out. This is kind of tricky. Maybe I can just lower the suspension and then have space there. We're going to try that out. On the front here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lower this all the way down to the bottom because we're going to adjust that anyway, and then try to get this spacer off the top. We're going to have to go in through the frunk to get to that a little bit, but it shouldn't be super difficult, but we'll see. We'll definitely have to see. As long as I don't remove this section here, I don't have to get the car realigned up front. Now the back might be a little different, but hopefully. So first thing we're going to do is this is the portion that we unscrew. Well, we have to take the lock out of it. So we're going to just back this out a little bit, allowing this to be adjusted down. And then we take these and we just loosen this up. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not really going to show you that. Basically it just locks in. It just kind of locks into here. We'll figure out the way. It just basically grabs onto this. This is the rear one, but it grabs onto this and then you just keep going like this all the way down. Yeah, it's gonna suck. It's gonna take some time. So I'm not sure how many of you are gonna have this same setup. Maybe one of you will want to buy mine, but basically I lowered this all the way down, which gave me a little gap. I disconnected here. You have to pull this apart, pull this pin out, and then this can separate from here. I undid this, and then this was loose, so I was able to turn this and then loosen up the bolts to take the spacer out. This is what the spacer is. You just have to loosen up the bolts there and give enough slack so this can come apart so you can take the bolts out. And now, as far as MountainPass Performance says, fit from here to here is 55 millimeters is the suggested start. So I'm going to spray some spray wax in there to kind of clean things out a little bit, and then move this up to 55 millimeters, which is 2.16 inches. Keep in mind that when you have a vehicle up on jack stands, it's taking a lot of the tension out of here, and it takes a few miles for it to compress. So it will be higher than what you think. You drive around a little bit, you come back, and then that way you'll be able to see your actual ride height. So it said recommended 55. I went to 50, so I'm gonna try this. There's not a huge difference, but we're gonna see what the difference is. I kind of want to slam it a little bit. We have to set this on the ground with the tires on, or adjust this up to ride height for to tighten that bolt there. So I'm gonna do that with this. The ride height should be right around 395 millimeters. From the center of the hub to the top of the fender. I'm gonna set that up here so I can tighten that down, and then we'll be good to go. Onto the back. So once you take those bottom bolts off, make sure you have a jack, otherwise things spring back. You'll be able to take the spacer out. That popped right out, and so did the spring. So now I just need to shorten this and put this one back in place, and this side will be done. Again, remember to go to stock height to tighten these two bolts down. But you also took this, I also took the spacers off of this, which means I have to replace these with the stock ones. I gotta find those. I found the stock bolts there, went to 16 or 15 millimeters here, ready to put this back in place and move on, put the tires on, move on to the other side. All right, now that we have everything lowered, the suspension is lowered, I'm going to put the tires on, drop this side, and whew, can't wait to see what it looks like. Or actually the front looks really good, the back is a little high. We'll have to adjust that as I drive it a little bit. But right now, pretty nice. It will settle as I drive it. So now it's sitting much lower. You see the wheels don't stick out. They actually fit perfectly for the Model Y. I mean, these were designed for the Model Y. So they're flush almost up front. They tuck a little bit in the back. But let me show you the side view. Look how low that is. The front is a little bit lower than the back. The front could be lifted up a little bit because remember I went 50 instead of 55. They recommended 55 millimeters. So I went 50. Actually I went 51 on this side, 50 on the other side just because I'm going to be sitting on this side, but that looks so good. Now again, these tires I do not like. You've heard me talk about that before. I think some beefier tires with this would fill this out a little bit more, maybe one size bigger. They're 255/35 on the back. What if I went with a 265 or 275/35? That would give me a little bit wider tire, and then that would also give me a little thicker tire, and I think that would look perfect. What do you guys think about this? Now this fits the color. You kind of see what I'm going for when I have the carbon fiber splitter on the front, carbon fiber on the sides. There's gonna be tons of carbon fiber on here. That's what's so cool about the MountainPass Performance system. This is the Comfort Coil-overs, so they're very comfortable. I actually tightened up the back by two clicks on the rebound and the bounce. I left the front alone. I'm gonna see how that is, but you were able to lift this up and go four-wheeling, or you can slam this down to the ground, even more even, but no rubbing, nothing. This is really cool. But wouldn't it be cool if I had air ride? Who wants this stuff? Help me pay for air ride. Air ride's not cheap, but it'd be really cool. Let me know if you're interested in this. I do have the lift kit in there, the spacers available, and then possibly if someone wants the Comfort Coil-overs. Stefan, this would look good on your car. Actually, I'll call you. As always, stay awesome, stay positive. I'll catch you on the next one. Let me know what you think.